being 26 years old and staying home and doing nothing. As God intended. I feel like I have been go, go, go lately, which I hate. Being go, go, go is quite literally one of my least favorite things on the face of the planet. Which is why I am titling this vlog, Stop Inviting Me to the Club. I am a homebody. I do not want to go. It's a long title, but truth needed to be told right here on this day. I hate leaving my house. Sorry. I'm kidding. A little bit. I do enjoy leaving my house for select activities. Trying a new restaurant, trivia night, a comedy show, a jazz club. I like leaving the house when the vibe is right, but you know where the vibe is never right? The fucking club. A sticky bar where they're serving Red Bull vodkas and listening to Fetty Wap. I would rather collapse today. And you know what? I never liked it. I didn't like it when I was 18, not when I was 19, 20, 21, 22. It has never changed about me. I'm 26 years old. I hate going out. Stop inviting me to party. I don't want to do it. I want to sit on my couch, drink a glass of wine, and talk with the besties. Today, we're doing just that. I'm having a me night. I've been going hard on my podcast lately. I've been having so much fun. It's the best time ever. We do a lot of talking, a lot of heart to hearts over there. We get into it. But I feel like it's been a minute since I've had a nice little one-on-one time with you guys with no set subject. We can just hang out and kind of talk about whatever the fuck we want today. Every time I say out loud that I don't like partying or going out, it usually triggers people to start explaining to me all the ways that I could love doing that thing. And I'm here to tell you right now, save your breath. Oh, but maybe if you went to this place or did this or only, shh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I'm sorry. But I think it's so funny that there are so many people out there that just can't comprehend that there are people out there that would actually rather sit at home and stare at a wall than go to a bar and be like, I love Drake. I do love an early bedtime, don't get me wrong, but you could come over to my apartment with a bottle of wine. We could sit on this couch till the wee hours of the morning talking, and I would enjoy myself. I just have no interest in going to a loud, sticky, sweaty place. And you know what? I've talked about this a lot lately in my life, on my podcast in general, because I'm putting my foot down. I don't want to be invited anymore. Stop inviting me out to the club. I don't want to go. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm saying no from here on out. I will never step foot in another club, okay? We're not doing it. I'll go to a wine bar and sit and chat with you and have little appetizers, but I'm not partying. It's done. We're wrapping it up. We're calling it an early night forever. This is a practice in acceptance for some of you, all right? I am who I am. You cannot change me, unfortunately. So with that, I've got myself a glass of wine. I'm already feeling a little horny, and I would like to make some bolognese. Before we get fully immersed in the sleepover vibes, let's do a little check-in with our relationships to ourselves. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Are we having enough orgasms? That's the question. Personally, I have been living, laughing, and loving lately. My vibrators are charged. Audio erotica is playing in my ears. I'm having a good life, which is very fitting because today's video is sponsored by Dipsea, my absolute favorite audio erotica app. If you're looking for a little something sexy to accompany your alone time, you've got to check out audio erotica. I just can't emphasize enough how truly sexy it is to lay down, light a candle, get the mood lighting hit, throw in some headphones, and listen to someone with a very sexy voice tell you exactly what they'd like to do to you. And the best part about Dipsea is that any scenario that you can think up inside your head that you're like, that's super hot. I would love to listen to that play out. What would it sound like to dirty talk in this specific scenario? Lucky for you, they probably already have that scenario over on Dipsea. Whether you're looking for stories about second chance romances, summer flings, super hot and heavy hookups, I promise you, they're gonna have it all. Also, side note, little tip, I've mentioned this before, but if you are someone that's looking to enhance your dirty talk in the bedroom, feel more confident with dirty talk in the bedroom, I think Audio Erotica is a fantastic place to start for some inspiration. And for viewers of my channel, Dipsea is offering a free extended 30-day trial to everyone that goes to dipseastories.com/partylikeMaddie. That's 30 days of full access for free for 30 days when you go to dipseastories.com/partylikeMaddie. All the links will be in the description down below, and thank you again to Dipsea for sponsoring today's video. Alright, so I'm making a bolognese. I did buy bolognese tomato sauce because, listen, we can get crazy, but we can't get that crazy. Let's be totally honest. We understand how cooking usually goes for me, so we're gonna keep it simple. So I'm basically just gonna make pasta with this sauce, but I got some vegetables and things to mix in to the pasta to make it a little bit more interesting. My only thing is I never know how much food to make for one person. It is the hardest part about living alone is like, oh, now I just gotta figure out all these portions for one person. Like, that is so complicated for no reason. You know, as much as I hate cooking, I actually do kind of enjoy it sometimes. Do not tell anyone that I said that. You know what I think about all the time? What if you are the first person to think something or to say a set of phrases together in a sentence? Like, I was at the beach with my friends, we were in Miami, and I forget what we were even talking about, but I remember sitting there looking at them being like, do you think that anybody on the face of the earth has ever had this conversation? Because it was so specific and so niche that I was like, we've got to be the first. And I feel like that's something I'm always thinking about, like, what could I say right now to be the first person that's ever said that sentence? I think more about like specific conversations or sentences where I'm like, do you think that this has happened in another friend group? In another time, something like this happened and everyone was sitting at a beach in Miami talking about it the same way that we are right now? Or do you think that we're the first people to ever experience a moment just like this? Like, we could be, there's no way to know. Maybe once, maybe a few times. I feel like it's probably more probable that like a ton of people have those conversations, no matter how niche it is. Like, odds are at least one other person, one other friend group has been in an extremely similar set of circumstances and said something similar, but I don't know, maybe not. So I started watching Succession. I know I'm like so far behind. Season 4 is airing right now, I think, and everyone and their fucking mother has been talking about it, and I swear I've never heard of this show before. Or if I had heard of it, I assumed it was an old person show, like you were talking about The Sopranos or something. I was like, boo, old. Kidding, all you Sopranos heads out there. It's not old. It's very, very cool. I care a lot about it. There's something so funny to me about like announcing that you don't care about widely popular things, because people get so fucking mad. And I'm like, sorry. You wanna know a list of things I don't care about? Okay, let me think. I don't care about The Sopranos. I don't care about Taylor Swift. I don't care about Drake. I just don't care. I'm completely indifferent about it. Don't ask for my opinion. I don't have one. But anyways, point of me saying that was to say that I started watching Succession, and I do really like it. I don't know that it's my favorite show or that I'm gonna be like devastated when I finish it, but you know, it's entertaining right now while I wait for the best thing that's on television to come back on television, which is Love Island UK. While I wait for that fine piece of cinema, I suppose I will watch this HBO show if I have to. It's good, but here's the thing. It's so predictable. I talked about this on my podcast the other week, but I smoked for the first time in several years, like 2 weeks ago at this point, because I was just curious. I've always been very anxious when I smoke. It just like doesn't really hit well for me. I tell all these stories on the podcast about like all the times I would get super anxious when I was high in college. Haven't smoked since then because I just came to the conclusion it wasn't for me, but I was curious if I smoked by myself, would it change my experience? So I bought weed, I sat on my couch, I smoked. I had a fine experience. Is it for me? Probably not. I think I'm just I like to have full control over everything, always, all the time, which is a separate conversation for me and my therapist to have, but I just don't know, I think I'm too type A to really love weed. But you know, every now and again, once every 17 months, I will maybe smoke weed to make all the thoughts in my brain go away. Because when I get high, I swear to you, not one singular thought goes through my brain. My voice that narrates inside my brain 24/7, it goes away when I smoke, which I hate. Because I love hearing my cutie little voice inside my head. She's got good things to think. So anyways, all of that to say, I was high and I was watching Succession, and I watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and then I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, I should watch Succession today. Go to turn it on, and I'm like, I don't remember a single fucking thing that I watched yesterday. I didn't go back and watch those episodes. I just kept it pushing because, to be honest, the same thing happens in every single episode of Succession. And maybe upon realizing that, I don't like the show as much. I'm like, I had this high realization that this show is so fucking predictable, and I can essentially have 3 to 4 episodes wiped from my memory and I still understand everything that's going on. Or am I just a genius? Cheers to making a beautiful meal and living a beautiful, gorgeous life. Honestly, I desperately needed this today. I brought Mango to, she had a dentist appointment yesterday. I get so stressed out whenever Mango has to go to the vet. And so doing a little dental exam was no different. I felt like I was gonna cry all day long. Felt like I did cry all day long. Let the record show, she did cry. That zucchini slaps. See, this is, I should be making things like this and not a French onion soup. What was I thinking? Like, do we remember that? I don't understand how anxiety manifests physically, but it does. It's like you can think yourself into being sick. You can overthink yourself into feeling like ass. Dropped off at 8 a.m. Didn't get to pick her up until 5:30 because they had other animals to get to, and they had to monitor her after she was coming out of the anesthesia to make sure everything was fine. Anyways, it was a long, however many hours that is, I'm not doing math. I had a migraine, a back spasm, and I felt like I was gonna throw up. All of those things magically went away the second I got home, except for the back. But that's usually how it goes, right? My anxiety makes me feel like I'm dying, literally. And then when I'm in my own home and everything is fine and like whatever is triggering my anxiety is gone, I'm magically, it's like nothing ever happened to me. So anyways, as you can imagine, Mango is doing perfectly fine. She's her same usual gorgeous cuddly self with her big fucking round ass eyes. She's sitting right underneath me right now. I love you. I love you so much. I cried all day. I was in different coffee shops just like letting myself tear up. And it's just because I love her so much. I could talk about Mango forever. Cats in general forever. You know what else I was thinking of a lot this week that actually I think a lot about all the time, but there's a type of person that I have beef with. And you might expect me to say that I have beef with people who are anti-cat, which obviously I have beef with. Said it before and I'll say it again. If you have beef with cats, if you hate cats, you're the problem. And that's just how it is. And if I said that about a dog, you would all agree with me. So if you don't like cats, it says more about you than it ever will about them. You're the problem, that's it, end of conversation. But what irks me a little bit more than anti-cat people are people that have both dogs and cats, but they only talk about their dogs, only post about their dogs, only gush about how much they love their dogs. It drives me up a wall. It does. There's something about that that just like depresses me to my core. The idea of someone having a dog and a cat and the dog gets 100% of their love and the cat just gets the fucking scraps, that makes me want to curl up in a ball and disappear for the rest of my life. I just don't like the way that some of you treat your cats. I'll say it. I'm not with it. I just feel like all of your animals should be the most precious things in the world to you. She's like my baby. I'm not saying she's a child. She's definitely not a child, but what I feel for her is what I would imagine I would feel about a child. I don't know, it just makes me sad when I know that people have dogs and cats, but like the cats are nowhere to be found when they talk about their lives or when they post about them. If you're not someone who posts, then whatever, you're exempt from that. But like if you have both dogs and cats and you only ever talk about your dogs, what about that tiny little kitty in there that just wants to be loved? Maybe it doesn't look the same way that the dog's love does. It doesn't need to. Ugh, it depresses me. I can't even think about this anymore. It's making me not enjoy my bolognese. Also, I'll go back to what I said before. If you hate cats for no fucking reason, or you met one cat that was mean to you once and you're like, I hate cats, you're the problem. I'm sorry. If anybody said that about dogs, everyone would be like, yeah, in agreement, like you are the problem, dogs are great, but when people say it about cats, people are suddenly like, well, cats are different. Perhaps you're just a fucking weirdo. Maybe cats don't like you because you're the weird one. Phase 2 for the sleepover vibes is obviously to play a little game. I've been on an overcooked kick lately. It's all I want to play, and it is like a multiplayer game. You can try to play by yourself, but it's impossible and not fun. So you really do need to play with other people, which is fun, but less fun when you're addicted to it and you're like, hello guys, I want to play this 24/7. Why don't all of you guys want to play this 24/7? Last summer, my game of choice was Fall Guys, and I feel like this summer, my game of choice is Overcooked. So Art said she'd play with me, so I'm gonna FaceTime Art. Hello. Sorry that took me so long. I was talking to myself. You're walking in the woods. There's no one around and your phone is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him. He's following you about 30 feet back. He gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's gaining on you. Shia LaBeouf. You know, there's certain things from the Tumblr era that I'm like, why are you still in here? And that song is one of them. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Running through your life from Shia LaBeouf. Brandishing a knife, it's Shia LaBeouf. Or whatever the fuck this is. Eating all the bodies. Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. I don't feel like we don't like Shia LaBeouf, do we? I don't know enough. I don't know what's going on. Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. That's why my neighbor keeps yelling at me. What are you doing, bouncing balls? Absolutely not, babes. Do a little jig. I feel like that sounded really good. Who was I with? Oh, when I was in Miami, I was with my friends and I mentioned Giovanna Plowman as a joke. And when I tell you, I got no reaction. I had 3 people looking at me going, I don't know who that is. And I said, you don't know who that is? Where were you in 2012, might I ask? I'm distraught to learn that not everybody knows who Giovanna Plowman is. Distraught to learn that not everybody knew about this video, period, but also that it wasn't impactful enough for you to memorize this girl's name forever. But in 2012, there was a video that went around where there was a girl named Giovanna Plowman in her bathroom. She took her tampon out on camera. I mean, you couldn't see vagine, but she took her tampon out. 212 by Azalea Banks was playing, which I won't forget it. I still remember that. And she sucked on her tampon. I mean, I guess in theory it's really not that gross, but it's like the concept of somebody trying to achieve internet virality via sucking a tampon. And I understand also what I just said is like, it's not that gross. I mean, it's not that gross in the sense that period blood isn't gross. It's very strange behavior though. Anyways, I'm remembering that for life. I'm like, what internet were you guys on? Because I was on the internet in 2012. I don't know, there's like levels to it, right? Because sometimes I meet people, I'm like, were you on the internet in 2012? Like, were you on Tumblr? When I say, were you on the internet, I don't mean, were you occasionally on the internet? I mean, were you an internet kid in 2012? Because your experience is completely different. Anyways, she's one of those people that I do often sit and think to myself, like, where is she now? For a while, I said that she was my dream documentary subject, back when I wanted to make documentaries. I just thought there was maybe a story there. Now, I don't know that there is a story there. I think it's just like kid wanting to go viral, doing something that's shocking, but is ultimately not like that gross. I don't know, some people are gonna disagree with me on that one, but from my adult perspective, it's not that gross because I want somebody to eat me out when I'm on my period. So I can't think it's that gross if I want that and think that's hot. You know? But it is weird. I'm not saying it's not weird, it's weird, okay? Sucking the period blood out of your own tampon, I think we can all agree that's unhinged. There's levels to it though. Honestly, for a while, hold on, let me start doing my skincare. I'm like talking. To kick things off, I'm gonna use the Pharmacy Green Clean Cleansing Balm. If in the year of our Lord, 2023, you're not a double cleanse girly when you're wearing makeup specifically, fearing for my life if I were to sleep over your house. They'd be like, I have makeup wipes. I gotta call my mom. It never occurred to me that there would be people out there that like wouldn't care about eating pussy while you're on your period. It never occurred to me. I just always figure that like, okay, we can have like period penetrative sex and we can just put down a towel and that's no big deal. And that's just what I thought the people were doing. When I learned that people were having period oral, I feel like I was spinning. That's so hot. Like, sorry, it fucking is. I think that's just like the idea of being with someone that is like so accepting of the human condition that they're like, fuck it. Yeah, babe. I mean, I assume that the number of people willing to do that is still pretty small. But if you are a part of that group of people, you are sexy to me. I'll be honest. I'll be honest and real. I wouldn't be offended if someone didn't want to do that. Would I want to do that? I think I would. I don't think I would care. Serving Giovanna. I don't know, in my head I'm like, it's kind of all the same, right? Now that I've done my oil cleanser, I'm gonna go in with my water cleanser. I'm using the CeraVe Hydrating Facial Cleanser. Like a bodily fluid is a bodily fluid. This one just tastes like pennies instead. Wouldn't be the worst thing. I'm just saying, you don't have to agree with me. Anyways, learning that there was a good enough chunk of people that are down for that was one of those moments for me where I was like, damn, maybe people are mostly good. Maybe I believe in the goodness of the universe now. Something just hits right with me about the idea of someone being like, yeah, word, whatever, I don't care. Are you period? Doesn't matter. I can't even describe the feeling that sends through my body. You either know if you know, and you don't know if you don't know. More for me, that's all I'm gonna say. Next up, the label on this has been absolutely worn the fuck away from all the times I've traveled with this, but this is the First Aid Beauty Wild Oat Toner. Just gonna do that, hit them with it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Next up, I'm doing the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid. I'm out of my favorite serum right now because it's out of stock and it's been killing me, but it's the super saturated serum from Experiment. Oh my god, my skin drinks that bitch up. Next up I'm using tonight is the Ceramide Barrier Serum from Coco Kind. Also, can I just say, there's nothing I love more than when someone stays over at this apartment and they ask to use my skincare. There's just like something about it. But inversely, speaking specifically about people I'm dating, an ick of mine is when someone sleeps over for the first time and when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do my skincare, unwind, brush my teeth. Do you want anything? Like, do you have stuff? Do you want stuff? And they're like, no, I'm good. And just kick back in my bed or on my couch, and I'm like, nothing? You don't wanna like, I'll give you a toothbrush. We can wash our face together, maybe throw on some moisturizer. And they're just like, no, I'm good. You're good? This might be the last time you're sleeping over here. Rethink your answers. Next up, we've got the Plum Plump Moisturizer from Glow Recipe. You're a grown adult man who's just gonna like go to bed, like just raw dogging the day. You've just had a whole day before you and you're gonna do nothing to like unwind and keep your skin and your teeth, your hygiene. We just don't care. We're just gonna go to bed. You're gonna go to bed in my bed like that? And then you're gonna try to kiss me? Am I in an alternate dimension? Like, listen, I would love for you to borrow my stuff, okay? Because then you're gonna smell nice and your skin's gonna be super fucking soft. And when I kiss you, it's gonna taste minty fresh, okay? It's no fun when only one of us has brushed our teeth. Next, I've got the Buffer Jelly from Experiment, which is like a micro slugging oil. I love going to bed, being able to reflect all of the stars in the sky, okay? I want to look like an oil slick. And last but certainly not least, I've got the Laneige Lip Mask, which is a long time favorite, a forever favorite. Truly do not want to sleep with anything else on my lips. Last step before I wrap it up for the night is to, of course, take all of my little pills. So we've got birth control, spironolactone. This is for my acne. If you're wondering how I get beautiful, gorgeous skin, it is this. And then I also take a probiotic before bed. The BV girlies who get it, and the non-BV girlies that don't get it, don't get it. To probiotics. To a extremely high amount of probiotics. And now it's time for me to go to bed, which is arguably the best part of a sleepover. There's one final thing that we have to do before I knock the fuck out because I'm exhausted. And that is share with each other our deepest, darkest secrets. I feel like I have such a good one. And I've been holding it in this whole video because I knew I was gonna do this right now. My secret of the night that I'm gonna share with you, and this is a big one, is that you got. I have been wearing my next drop of merch throughout this entire video. What's up? You guys had no fucking idea, did you? Unless, of course, you follow the Emotionally Online Podcast Instagram / listen to the podcast in general, because I've been talking about it on there. But that purple sweat set I was wearing, that's my merch, baby. Cheers. We've got a few brand new merch pieces coming very soon. My favorite of which is the purple sweat set that I was wearing. On top of that, we also have a t-shirt launching. It's a band t-shirt with all of the episodes from season 1 of my podcast on the back, and then we also have a sweater launching. All of the pieces are emotionally online themed, so shout out to those of you that listen to the podcast, but also if you were just a emotionally available, crybaby, sensitive little Pisces in this corner of the internet, which that's all of you, for all I know. You're also gonna love all of the emotionally online merch. Let everybody know that you're a water sign without saying you're a water sign. That's the vibe we're going for here. Life is a highway, but we are gonna ride it all night long. and that's literally all you can do, and not enough people are saying it. So, without further ado, Alexa, turn all lights off, baby.